What?
The football game. What do you think of the outcome, and what did you guys do for it?
We just hung out as a team and watched it downstairs, and it was a great game. For the Broncos, they played well, they played better. Unfortunate the Panthers didn't play the game that they usually have played all season, but that team's very talented. Cam's he's a potentially Hall of Fame type quarterback. It was a fun game for me to watch, and I just enjoyed the competition and respect the level of professionalism that those guys had and played with.
Yeah, I wanted to talk on that. The fact that, you being in the NBA, that's the NFL. Do you draw from those experiences? Do you kind of look at it from a different angle, being in the position you're in?
You definitely do. I think you take it and say, man, that'd be a great feeling to be able to win a Super Bowl, and how hard they worked to get there, and the things that they went through to get there, and looking at the other side, man, I don't want to have that feeling. I mean, it's just one of those things. But you respect what those guys put their bodies through, the preparation, how big of a game it is, and for them, it sucks. It's only one game. Yeah. And for us, we would be able to come back the next day and get better, but that's how it is. One game, and you guys play well. You play well enough to win.
Does it remind you in those one-game situations, Kyle?
Win or go home.
Yeah.
When you're young, you have the NCAA tournaments like that. Win or go home, and but those guys, they got to buy, and they won 2 games to get to that point. Yeah. So they did their job to get to that point. They just didn't, win the game. It just sucks to, have the one game and lose it. But that's how the Super Bowl is, and I love it. I love it as a football fan.
Sounded like you were rooting for Cam.
I was rooting for the game in general. I've always loved Peyton Manning. Don't get that twisted. I went to their opening game this year, in Denver. So I'm always a Peyton man. But I just like the game of football. I just love the game of football. I love the passion that it's played with. I love the support that the world gives them.
What was the consensus in the room? Was it mostly for Carolina or mostly for Denver?
No one really cared besides DeMar. DeMar will say he went for Carolina or Denver because he's a bandwagoner, and so whoever won, he was saying that was his team. Who asked him? I guarantee he's like, yeah, I went for Denver. That's my team. Watch, ask him. Just ask him.
Last year when you guys came here, you guys had a great, tremendous following from Raptors fans, and I don't know what you guys expected previously, but let's talk about your fan base up there and how passionate it is. I mean, they make that trip down here and basically took over the Palace last
I think they'll make the trip again this year. Our fans have been unbelievable since I've been here, coming to Detroit and supporting us every time we've played here. But we still got to come out here and do our job tonight. Work hard. This team's an extremely well-coached, well-played team, and they play extremely hard. So we still got to come out here and do our job. The fans will support us, but we still got to come out here and play.
What'd you take away from the last time you played them just a couple weeks ago or a week or so ago?
They can fight. They fight hard. They play hard. They rumble down to the end. They're not going to give up until the buzzer's over, and even when the buzzer's over, they're still not going to try to give in. But we got to execute. We got to play our game and understand what the situations we're going to be in and what we have to do to win the game.
Kyle, after the last game in Portland, we joked about you shooting a lot of threes because you got into the three-point contest, but really you've been shooting more. And has it just been that's what's been open for you? Is that what the teams have been giving you?
I think it's just more of the game is transitioned to more of a three-point shot, and like I said, my teammate, DeMar does a good job of getting in the paint and kicking out to me. Just being able to find a situation in the spot, space in the floor also, and getting to the spots that needs to be gotten to get the open shots.
And, I mean, as a result, you're playing a lot of the two-spot late in games with Corey on the floor. How much does that enable you to kind of get off the ball and be a guy who can space the floor, as you said, as well as attack off the pass?
Right. It's one of the things where, let the attention be on the ball handler, and then me have my guy tag, and they got to hit the roller. I get a wide open shot, even when I catch and go. It's been good. And even like when DeMar's in the game handling, it's the same situation. Put me on the single side by myself. You got to tag. If you don't tag, I get a 3. So it's how the game is played.
You were talking about that last game against Detroit. What was it in the fourth quarter, if anything, that they were doing different that enabled them to kind of get back to that point?
Their pressure picked up, their intensity picked up, their passion, like everything they did just picked up. And we became a little bit lackadaisical, but they played down to the end. They played down to the last buzzer.
Last one for you. What did you guys do so well against Drummond? Because it seemed like you held him in check for most of it.
I think foul trouble played a factor into it. He's an all-star, no doubt about it. He's capable of a 30 game. You just got to go out there and understand where you have to be at, help, all that stuff.